Dr. Hina Gaviz ji.
Thank you, sir. I rise to support the Assisted Reproductive Technology Regulation Bill 2020. Sir, in India, assisted reproductive technology has remained unregularized for a long time. Baby Manji Yamada versus Union of India was the first case where the Supreme Court had remarked on the importance of developing a strong legislative framework to govern surrogacy, which is a common method of assisted reproductive technology in India. This judgment also holds critical importance because it was decided upon by the judges under the presumption of legality of surrogacy agreements and surrogate motherhood. So this judgment also holds as a precursor for the surrogacy bill, Surrogacy Regulation Bill 2019, which was passed by the Lok Sabha in August 2019, after which it was referred to the Select Committee. The Surrogacy Regulation Bill bans on commercial surrogacy, however, it has allowed altruistic surrogacy to the intending infertile married couples between the age of 23 to 50 for females and 26 to 55 years for males. So why did we need regulation of the assisted reproductive technology? Lots of studies have been done in this field. Sir, since 2002, studies have reported that India has boomed in a major center for ART, especially surrogacy. A report by the Confederation of Indian Industry as early as 2002 estimated that the practice will generate at $2.3 billion per year till 2012. The 129th report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health and Family Welfare on Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2020 had also highlighted the growing market for assisted reproductive technology facilities and growing demand for the same. A market research by Fortune Business Insights on assisted reproductive technology has found that the high prevalence of infertility amongst the citizens has been responsible for the booming market in the assisted reproductive technologies. So, a report by the Ministry of Women and Child Development has also emphasized that there has been an increase in the number of foreign couples coming to India who opt to travel to India to have surrogate children. There can be lots of reasons behind that. One is there is a legislative prohibition in some of the countries. That is also one reason why the foreigner couples come. But sir, one of the most important reasons why they are coming to India is because earlier there was lack of any legislation which was having regulation over the assisted reproductive technology. And second, that the cost of assisted reproductive technology in India was much lower than other parts of the world. Sir, the increasing influx of foreigners to India for ART procedures has been one of the key reasons for medical tourism in India. The heightened financial disability among women in India of a particular section of the society has been an important factor that aids these practices. The prospect of earning money in exchange of providing support for the assisted reproductive technology procedures has made many women in India an easy target for the rich, wealthy couples who want to have children through the assisted reproductive technology. This has paved way for womb on rent as a concept of earning livelihood for the destitute women with no financial resources to back them. So far, we have seen that mostly the underprivileged women are those who go for giving services or helping in the assisted reproductive technologies, particularly for becoming surrogate mothers. Sir, this in turn leads to a lot of exploitation of the women, abandonment of children. There is commercialization seen in this field. Initially, assisted reproductive technology, when it came, the reason was on a humanitarian ground to assist those couples who are infertile and who cannot have their own children. For them, this technology had come, but unfortunately, over a period of time, a lot of commercialization has been taking place, and that is the reason why we need regulation of assisted reproductive technology regulation bill. Sir, this assisted reproductive technology bill, it addresses an array of issues that have been observed in the practices which are prevailing in India. bill provides for eligibility criteria for couples who want to avail the benefits of assisted reproductive technology and eligibility criteria for those who are rendering services related to assisted reproductive technology. It also mandates for proper registration of the ART clinics, of the ART banks, to enhance scrutiny of their functioning by authorities constituted by government under this act. Now, sir, the objectives of the bill is the bill seeks to regulate the assisted reproductive technology services, including the IVF, that is in vitro fertilization, egg retrieval, embryo transfer, and surrogacy, among many other assisted reproductive technologies. The bill was drafted with an objective number 1, regularizing the registration of the ART clinics and the ART banks, regularizing the age and other criteria for couples who are looking to avail for the benefits of ART, specifying the number of embryos to be planted to the uterus of women, disallowing sex selection at every stage of the assisted reproductive technology process, and ensuring penal provisions for unethical practices in the ART clinics. Sir, how this registration is going to benefit us? I would like to share a data with this August House. Sir, as of 2017, only 20% of the IVF clinics and 2% of the functional ART clinics were registered under ICMR, which means 80% of the IVF clinics were not registered, 98% of the assisted reproductive technology clinics were not registered, which indirectly means we had no control over what is happening. They were not accountable if any mishap happens there because they are not registered only. So lots of these issues were coming up, and that was the reason why this registration is of prime importance to all of us. A centralized registry of ART clinics is the first step towards ensuring transparency in the services they are providing. So this is very important. Anything in this ART has to be transparent. Unfortunately, in the past, we have seen that not many things were happening transparently. And that is why transparency will come once there is a national registry for registering the ART clinics in the country. Sir, this will also help in ensuring the legitimacy in their clientele and regularize the cost at which these services are being provided. It will also allow the government to monitor the quality of services that are provided by these entities, which is critical to ensure the safety of health of the mother and the child who are involved in the assisted reproductive technology process. Registration will also further ensure strict adherence to the guidelines issued by the government, including submission of the documents, proof of manpower who are trained for these complex procedures, because once we talk of ART, this is a very complex procedure and we need to have skilled manpower who is working in those ART clinics. There will be a uniform format which will ensure that the quality is equal everywhere and same services are provided in all the clinics. This will also enhance the coverage of insurance schemes. Sir, I would like to thank Honorable Minister for particularly bringing in this. Sir, because I would like to highlight that in the past, very scant coverage of insurance was seen in the ART procedures. Most of the times what happens is that normally also pregnancy has an inherent risk. Nobody sitting here can say that this lady during her pregnancy will not have any complications, and complications can arise at any point of time. And if there is no insurance, we have seen in the past that lots of legal issues have also come up, and therefore insurance of those women is very, very important. Sir, for conditions like when there is a complication like a placenta previa, where it is supposed to not continue the pregnancy because it becomes a high-risk pregnancy. But in some cases, since it's a surrogate mother and the couple wants the mother to give birth to the child, so doctors, they go for a conservative pregnancy, and then sometimes that can become life-threatening also to the mother. Therefore, having insurance coverage for the mother is very, very important, and I thank Minister for especially addressing that issue also. Now, sir, this ART bill, it allows the following beneficiaries to avail the benefits of the assisted reproductive technology. One is Indian married couples, male and female, single Indian females, single foreign females, and married foreign couples, male and female. I was listening to my colleague on the other side who was speaking of why single males are not, or why only male cannot be a part of this. And a lot of people also question that why single male is not allowed to take the benefit of the assisted reproductive technology. Sir, according to the adoption rules of 2017 in our country, it says that a single male cannot adopt a girl child. And according to this bill, sex selection of the embryo is not permissible. So even if a male wants to adopt a child, but it is difficult in the earlier stages to know that the conceived child or the child which is going to be born is a male or female. And therefore, because of this practical issue, it is not possible to have single males have their, can go for the ART procedures. Sir, the rights and duties of the ART clinics is very, very important, because this is where the entire procedure is going to be taken place. One, sir, ART clinics must ensure that the women who are approaching to the ART clinic for their services are above the legal age of marriage and below the age of 50 years, whereas men who are approaching the clinic for their services are above the legal age of marriage and below the age of 55 years. Sir, what happens in the past, we have seen that there are many, and I don't say all, but in many clinics, many unmarried girls are going, many unmarried girls are participating in this ART procedure, and a lot of exploitation has been done in the past, because if a female is married, if she has her own child, many a times, sir, it also happens that while giving birth to a child, she might have a complication, and because of which in the future she might not be able to give birth to any child. And that is the reason why it is essential that she is married, she has her own child, then only she should be going for these ART, the assisted reproductive technology services. And sir, also, according to the bill, the ART clinic must also ensure that the oocyte donor is between the age of 23 and 35 years of age. Sir, it also says that a donor may donate oocyte only once in her lifetime, and only 7 oocytes shall be retrieved from a donor. Now, why only 7? I would also like to address that, because when a female oocyte is retrieved, she is given ovulation induction drugs. When she is given ovulation induction drugs, and sir, there have been studies in the past when women are given too many high doses of ovulation induction drugs to get more oocytes, and this has been practiced in many ART clinics. They want more oocytes so then they can make more money out of it, and that is the reason why the bill says only 7 oocytes, because when we give OIDs, the ovulation induction drugs, it causes hyperstimulation syndrome, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. In mild cases, it just secretes fluid in the body. But in severe cases, it can be life-threatening to the female whom we are giving these drugs to get the oocyte. So it is, I think, very properly put in clause here. Sir, in the best interest of the oocyte donor's rights, the bill also mandates that the oocyte shall be retrieved from a woman who has been married, like I already said, and she should have at least a child of 3 years age. Under section 22, the bill mandates for informed consent from all the parties which is involved in the procedure of the assisted reproductive technology. To further affirm the well-being of a oocyte donor, the bill mandates that there must be an insurance coverage in favor of the oocyte donor as well. Sir, most important thing that I feel when we talk of assisted reproductive technology procedure, any procedure, is the professional counseling of both the commissioning couple as well as the women who is involved in this procedure. It is very important that the ART clinic must professionally counsel the implications, the success rate, and also guide them to make an informed decision, which is very, very important, and I'm glad that the bill also speaks on this. any information or at the ART clinic about the single women or the commissioning couple is to be kept confidential again, which is very important because we all think of privacy these days, and I think this is very, very important. Every ART clinic and bank must have a grievance redressal cell. If anybody has any complaint, anybody wants to take up any issues, this grievance redressal cell will definitely be addressing those issues. Sir, I would commendably congratulate the government because recently the National Family Health Survey 5 which has come, it has shown that India has a higher number of female citizens than male. Though this indicates a significant and definite improvement in the space of gender equality at birth, this was also achieved through the relentless and constant work of the government to ensure the same. Sir, when we are talking of technology, it can be a boon and a curse at the same time. And therefore, to ensure that the technology is used ethically, this bill expressly prohibits sex selection at all stages of the procedure. Section 26 prohibits sex selection. Section 32 lays down penalty for those who engage in sex selection. Section 32 mandates imprisonment for a period extending from 5 to 10 years. And sir, the bill mandates the rights of the child born through assisted reproductive technology will have the same rights as that of a biological child born to the commissioning couple. The child will have the same rights, responsibilities and privileges that are otherwise available to a biological child under any law in force. Section 33 states that parents or the medical practitioner, if anybody abandons the child, the person responsible will have to pay a fine between rupees 5 to 10 lakhs for the first offense, and if this is being done subsequently, then they will be liable to be imprisoned for a term of 8 to 12 years along with a fine which is above 10 lakhs and less than 20 lakhs. Sir, different authorities to regulate the assisted reproductive technology has also been put in place. To ensure maximum coverage between laws, the National Board, State Board and the National Registry shall be the same as the National Board that was mentioned in the surrogacy bill. The National Board will be constituted under Section 1 of Section 15 of Surrogacy Act. The powers and functions of the National Board will be to advise the central government on policy matters related to the assisted reproductive technology. The National Board will remain the central policy-making authority to bring uniformity in access, treatment services, and quality across all clinics. They shall also govern the ART services provided, nature of services provided, and the outcome of the services. However, since the penalties are different for both the bills, the offences and penalties under the ART bill will be administered by the registration authority under the ART bill. According to Section 40 of the bill, these three authorities or the officers authorized by these may search the premises of any facility where they think that any offense under this act has been taken place. Under the quick development of technology and science along with the vast expansion of ART facilities in India, there is a real and urgent need to introduce a legislative framework to regulate the functioning of these entities. There are a numerous of social, legal, ethical and scientific aspects to the ART procedures that need to be taken into account while devising the framework to govern these practices in India. The bill has analyzed ART landscape in India and has effectively addressed all the issues and malpractices that plagued. The bill has elaborately laid down a framework that expressly prevents exploitation of women and children involved in the ART procedure and carries the best interest of the donors and biological parents at its best. Sir, we see these days a lot of celebrities using surrogacy to have children. And many celebrities who have already had their own biological children are also going for these surrogacy. This bill will definitely ensure that people who are in need, the couples who are infertile, can avail the benefits of ART, and just because somebody has a lot of money and doesn't want to carry a pregnancy can go for this. I think these things also will be checked upon by this bill. Sir, lastly, I would like to make a small suggestion before I finish. Sir, Section 12 speaks of the state board and its composition. In that, in the composition, it says of an eminent medical practitioner will be one of the members on the board. Instead of having eminent medical practitioner, if we have an eminent gynecologist or an obstetrician, I think that will be more appropriate in the context of the bill. Sir, with these words, I wholeheartedly support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hina ji.